Let's head to the Ashanti region now. And here's why it's crucial, because the results that came in, you would realize that Kennedy Japan polled over 11,000 votes. We also saw Dr. Bawumia polling over 22,000 votes. And that's part of why we're taking our citizens' microphone to Kumasi in the Ashanti region to gauge the sentiments of people in that region on the back of the election of the flag bearer for the NPP. Nana Bwache Yado, my colleague, is standing by. Nana Bwache, what can you share with us? Basically, what is the feel in Kumasi on the back of Saturday's monumentous event?
All right, so Benjamin, for the very first time, we would have a non-Akan leading the governing New Patriotic Party into the crucial 2024 presidential election. And Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia managed to garner some over 22,000 votes against his closest contender, Kennedy Japan, the Member of Parliament for Asin Central, who also had over 11,000 votes. Although we had two candidates tracing their roots into the Ashanti region, Dr. Efri Akoto and then Francis Adenimo, the former Member of Parliament for Kwadaso and Mampon, respectively. Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia managed to win the Ashanti region, although we had these two candidates coming strongly from the Ashanti region. Today we'll be taking reactions from some residents in the Ashanti region. I'm currently in the Asuanse constituency, the constituency well known to be that of the NDC, specifically that of the former minority chief whip, Honorable Muntaka. Let's get the reaction from some residents in the Ashanti region. This woman here already is flanked in white and blue, the colors of the New Patriotic Party already. Mame, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia winning Ashanti region Saturday, you know. How do you feel after this victory for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? Because we know he's not an Ashanti.
Anopai dear me da joy news etie fo ne ahwefo me chia mu nyina anopai de di kan me derade ase so no na ama de yehuni abamusa amayen ase de tosu bie me ni ma delegate nyina e wo Ghana mem ha nyina se erade aka wa akoma mo hu se doctor ebetimi edi anim edi akokon no 2024 na misa asre yewura komprekon ene Dr. Akoto yewura Adenimo sa wo nyina fa komapa na yemfa entai yewura Dr. Achi efise nkunim de ne nyina ye NPP fo nyina na adi nkunim enye Dr. Nkwa na adi nkunim nkunim de ne ye NPP fo nyina dia nti yesra mo pa sa mo fa komapa ne yemfa adwen kro enta na chi na yentimi nkoko sa okon no na nkunimdie no enya MPP for dia
no kra ye be kwakoko sa okon na ma MPP. But then Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia ni nipa wodi kan a onya kan ni a oba be di MPP anim eba ne sa na ye akanfo no wo ye sure say ade a 2024 be ye mrama doctor.
Oh ye na akanfo ide ye de ye no ye mfa ne sa ye de osono no kokroko no na ye somo no enti se ewo empanifo nim die ni nyansem no ye nyina yakob enkroma hu se doctor na bekode a na wo se ye ta na chi ye boa no na wokọ nti ye de osono kokroko e na ye somo no enye tribe bi na ye somo no e ye wosono e na ye somo no.
All right, so as a proud member of the New Patriotic Party, she is saying that regardless of the tribe of the newly elected flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, as an Akan, she believes that definitely they are going to work towards victory come 2024. She says the aspirants or the other candidates who joined Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia during the just ended NPP presidential primaries should rally their support behind the newly elected flag bearer for victory 2024. But then I have another gentleman here with me. How do you feel after the New Patriotic Party delegates elected Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia as the new flag bearer, especially not tracing his route to the Ashanti region or any other Akan region?
Well, as my own opinion, I'm very, very happy to see Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia won the election as a flag bearer And I'm also happy because Ashanti was being tagged as an NPP party, being criticizing, then it's been dominated by the Ashanti or Akans. That's not the perception. But now NPP has expected that NPP party is not for a traditional or an Akan political party. So I'm very, 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 very happy that they were able. Myself, I'm a delegate.
Oh, really? You're a delegate?
I'm a delegate. I'm on station youth organizer at Akotiala in Malaga.
Okay.
We came together and look at a person who is going to help us breaking the 8. And looking at Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, he have really shown a commitment that he can do it. You can't underestimate his capacity of being a vice president. Looking at him as a vice president, what he was able to contribute to the party will really help us to breaking the 8. So I'm really, really happy.
So let's look at the fact that 2024 is going to be a very crucial year for the New Patriotic Party. It's not going to be an easy run for the NDC though. But then is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia going to garner some huge votes from the Ashanti region and make it a win for the New Patriotic Party? Because looking at the previous elections, in the 2020 election you had over 1 million votes. In the 2016 election, yes, the NPP won with some over 1 million votes. Do you think that can still happen with Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia?
Looking at the good work that the NPP government have done, and having Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to lead the Flagbearership going to election 2024, I think we will definitely make a victorious victory coming 2024. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the right candidate as now. Looking at what comes to the northern region, you can observe it yourself. This election that we just conducted 2 days ago, look at the massive improvement came from northern region. And northern region have been the strong area for NDC and the Zongo communities. Even I'll tell you yesterday, I have a lot of people who are NDC who call me congratulating them because they were not expecting that we will vote for Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia to be our Flagbearer. So this is an improvement for us. We will definitely break the 8 because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is going to canvass a lot of votes. I am saying he's going to win more than over that 1 million vote that Nana won in 2016.
All right, so reactions of some residents in the Ashanti region as to the outcome of the 2023 NPP presidential primaries. But then let's still get others to share their thoughts with us. How do you feel after the NPP elected Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia as the new flag bearer to lead the party to the 2024 elections, especially somebody who's not an Akan for the very first time?
Oh, I'm so happy for them because I'm neutral. I don't have any party. Okay. But right now, when I see what's NPP people doing, they are doing great things. They have free education. They have more achievements. So if Bawumia is in, I think they will do better than that.
Is it not something quite surprising to you, looking at the fact that the NPP has elected for the very first time a non-Akan?
I'm surprised. Because I don't think that they will choose Muslim man for the president.
So what was your reaction when you first heard the news that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has won the NPP primaries?
I was shocked.
You were shocked?
Yeah.
Why were you shocked?
Because I even say, hey, NPP, first time, first in history. So now, 2025, vote for them.
You vote for them?
Yeah.
Because they elected Dr. Bawumia?
Yeah, I vote for them. Because I think, the NPP people will only choose Akan people. But right now, no, I have seen they always pick from anywhere they like.
Okay, so looking at the fact that Dr. Bawumia pulled over 22,000 votes in the Ashanti region alone, he won the Ashanti region massively. Was it surprising as well, the vote he had in the Ashanti region?
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Because in Ashanti region, they always tell us that we love our Akan people. But Ashanti region has shown Bawumia that they love him more than the Northern region.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Looking at the votes, Ashanti loves Bawumia more than Northern region?
Yeah. Yeah, so I would tell him, he should turn her face into Ashanti region because they have shown him more love. So we are ready to vote for him 2024. We will move from our party to vote for him to become a president for Ghana 2024.
Okay, so that's their thoughts as to the outcome of the NPP presidential primaries held on 4th of November. Okay, I have another lady here with me. Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is the new flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party. Looking at the numbers he pulled in the Ashanti region, over 22,000 votes against his closest contender, Kennedy Ohene Japan, who had over 11,000 votes. He won massively in the Ashanti region. Although Formina was not a good run for him, do you think that not choosing an Akan candidate for the NPP can secure victory for the NPP going into the 2024 general elections?
Yes, NPP is a national party, and whoever the NPP presents, the people of Ashanti region are going to vote for him, because when you want a development, it is the NPP who brings the development into the country. So Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will win the election in 2024.
Were you not surprised when you first heard of the numbers he had garnered from the region? 22,000, that's quite huge. Were you not surprised? Although you believe that the NPP is a national party, they did not come as a surprise to you?
No, it didn't come as a surprise to me, because during the August 26 election, he had 97 votes in Ashanti region, and I knew it is going to be translated into the November 4th election. So I was not surprised at all, because NPP is a national party. And then the people of Ashanti region will say Asante Nkai. And they said that because when you come to Ashanti region and then you live with them in harmony, they will not even remember that you are not an Asante. When it comes to vote, they will vote for you.
All right, so let's look at 2024. That's the bigger picture. That's the most crucial elections ahead of us. 2024, two Northerners, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, John Dramani Mahama from the NDC, and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, yes, from the New Patriotic Party. How is it going to look like? How have you pictured 2024?
2024 election is going to be an interesting election. Why? Because NPP has never presented an Akan candidate before. And when you come to Ashanti region, it's an Akan-dominated region. So for us in the Ashanti region, we know Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not going to get anything less than 80% in Ashanti region. And then in the northern region, this is the first time NPP has presented a northerner. So in the northern region, they are going to compare the two candidates. Who is bringing more to the table? And when you look at John Mahama and Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, John Mahama is far behind Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. So it is the northerners who are going to decide 2024 election vote. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has done a lot for the northern region than John Dramani Mahama.
You have a very beautiful analysis, and I love it. But then let's look at the fact that some people say without Kennedy Ohene Japan, it's going to be a difficult one for Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Do you also believe in that?
Yes, because in unity lies strength. If Honorable Kennedy Ohene Japan does not support Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, it will be a very difficult election in 2024. But when you look at his speech on November 4th, he said he is going to rally behind Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for us to secure the victory in 2024. So Dr. Kennedy Japan is behind Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and we are going to win the election in 2024, inshallah.
Grateful for your time, and that is the reactions from some other residents we are getting in the Ashanti region. Okay, I have some other one person here with me. How did you find the NPP presidential election, the results? How did you find it?
Oh, you better share them for in fact, NPP for my idea pa said na about one encore so 4th November near man koso no na me nyini sese kura na be for now no a free and fair election ye papa or candidate Ohene Japan aka ni nyina dey a kire ye ama ye hu say abana ye to ye no sese di aka nyina ye asomdwe ti as dedi kan e be kwam otwadi amponyankopon a owo NPP no owo man Ghana no owo ye nyina no ye beda na se woni pa ani nsu a oto ye dey edigu so di mai afa memra NPP na memra Ghana man no so sese se sha ye besre NPP Council of Elders omumba omunan ensi form na omunya entutuye ye e wo party nim ye hia enkabom ya to abana wie Kennedy Japan teacherfo e wo se NPP empanifo ne omo ehia no omo kasa no omo hwe omo ano kasa ye saa so ne papa Bawumia say oya incoming president ya to aba amana oba be ye oman no president nyame aduma 2025 no ono so na teacherfo ehwe se omo kasa entia eye Kennedy Japan eye ne nkofo no enti kakra mo de ma NPP for no so na ye mra oman Ghana say Yatu Abama, Yen Papa, Mahmoud Bawumia, and Ghana Yabakwasem, 4th Republic, Ebisida. Only the first Muslim NPP for as a presidential candidate. Obe Jinam Diama 2024. Now many aji stay BAB. I'm a Christian, but I'm a happy say Bawumia ebe Ghana president. Yen tanechi na enyuma pa all ye dia more man. In fact, Ghana ya bro 80s, 70s, 90s ya bre papa. A bedroom maybe a more crowd be more a Christmas. Christmas will cry about 7 night already. But now, and now delivery more na bana bisiwo. BPI online as I speak. Say uchi alad ba. Oko phone swa na why day. What you alad be no. And now we are insurance unko dealer be more. Light no a chum. Can you go prepaid card and a prepaid unit egu you swa. Ube dealer na wo ye chill near the bana no me no ka say. And the BPI online kama eti Mr. Ghana for say yen busa se mahama oba de na oba beye Mr. Ghana for say yen to oba no mama Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia o wan se ye pad ma yen free education ya ku anim na akola onim ade kora no enam se kanen obi anya access grade 6 but oni buafo but na free education ti and obi am move forward ti Mr. Mahmoud to oba no ema Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia nyame aduma December yen to oba no 2024 na December 7th January 7th president.
Thank you so much. So he's also saying that he believes Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia can win the 2024 presidential elections. He believes that in unity, the NPP can fight the NDC and then win the 2024 presidential elections. But then we still have another woman here with me. How do you feel after you heard the news? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, as flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, you'll be leading the party to the 2024 presidential elections. How did you see it?
So I feel very excited. I feel very excited when I heard the results because I even expected more. Because per my analysis, I knew Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was going to get 80% of the votes.
Per your analysis?
Yes.
What analysis?
You know, we are there. We are the grassroots.
Oh, I see.
And we know what is going on behind closed doors. So per all the analysis we did, me and some of my colleagues, we knew he was going to get the 80% of the total election count. But it's not like all the same. We have already won it. Yes, we have won it. So currently we are looking at how we can break the 8, and we know it is going to be possible. A lot of people are thinking it is never going to be possible, but we are going to shock people. We are really going to shock people.
Let's look at the Ashanti region, the votes Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had in the Ashanti region. Yes. Over 22,000 votes. Yes. His closest contender, Kennedy Ohene Japan, had over 11,000 votes. When you heard the numbers, the figures from the Ashanti region, what was your reaction?
I'll bring you some of the scoop later from the Ashanti region. Quite a lot to talk about. Some positivity from the Ashanti region when it comes to the election of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But let's come here into Accra, and Carlos Kaloni is standing by at the University of Ghana, specifically Ayawaso West Wogon constituency. Now, you would realize that, in fact, there were some 17,000 plus votes for Kennedy Ohene Ejapong here in Accra voting, and just 19,002 votes for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. That was not something that was expected. We'll try and get things together and come to the Greater Accra region to find out why this panned out in that direction, as and when we can connect with Carlos Kaloni. But let me come back to Dr. Ayamga. Listening to the reactions of some of those we've interacted with in the Ashanti region, what is your personal reaction on the back of that? It's more positive than you would have expected, right? All right, I think we've lost Dr. Ayamga on the line. Carlos, if you can hear me, I hear you're somewhere in the University of Ghana, Legon. Share with me what the sentiments of the people are on the back of the NPP choosing the new flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Discussing this, as you can see there in your shot, a number of concerns are being raised whether Dr. Bawumia has what it takes to actually bring the party together, the perceived cracks that exist in the NPP. Some are also raising concerns as to whether, with the popularity he's garnered so far in the NPP, 61 point something percent, as compared to that of Dramani Mahama, he'll be able to actually break the 8 for the NPP, as well as concerns about vote buying that allegedly characterized the NPP's presidential primaries over the weekend. And so students here on the campus of the University of Ghana have been discussing this issue, and we have a few of them here to share their thoughts with us, so we understand what they actually make of the process, and if indeed they believe Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has what it takes to actually break the 8 for the NPP. So you're live on Joy News. You have been following the primaries over the weekend, and so share with us what's your thought on what really transpired over the weekend.
I think everything that happened is one way or the other known, because looking at the NPP, the two major candidates, which is Dr. Bawumia and then Kennedy Japan, they were the two people we were all looking out for. Looking at Bawumia won at the end, but looking at the votes he put, it's somehow questionable, and then it's also commendable, because looking at a region like the voter region, looking at the votes Bawumia was able to get from the voter region, I think it has never happened in the history of NPP. Getting that vote. So I see Bawumia to be someone coming with a new vibe. Yes. Okay, so you believe that he can really break the 8 for the NPP? Breaking the 8 is something I can't really say, because Mahama on the other side is also a very strong candidate, and then both Mahama and Bawumia are well-known citizens. Because Mahama was the former president, and then he's also the vice president. So if I'm to vote, they've all worked and I've seen their work. So I think I'll weigh both of them and I'll know who to vote for. So from the history you're just sharing with us, if you weigh the two of them now, between the Dr. Bawumia as well as John Dramani Mahama, who actually do you think is going to make it come 2024? I can't really say, because that's not, I don't know who someone else's option, but for me, I'm looking at a general figures. Looking at the NDC primaries, Mahama, for instance, also put quite a huge number of votes from the Ashanti region, and then it was also something. So it's like Mahama put votes from the Ashanti region, Bawumia also put votes from voter region. So I think 2024 election, it's going to be something we've never seen. All right, thank you. Your name again? Ezekiel. Okay, so that's Ezekiel's view. We have other students here who are also going to share their thought with us. Do you think Bawumia has what it takes to break the 8 for the NPP?
Well, for me personally, I don't really think he would break the 8, because looking at Mahama's votes, he had more votes. And that's in the NDC? Yeah, in the NDC. And then Bawumia the NPP had a bit of a vote, because 60% is more than 50. So I think Mahama, the people of Ghana want a change. So them voting for Mahama, they would want a change. So I think Mahama would win the 2024 election. Is it that Ghanaians want a change, or you don't think that Bawumia has what it takes to actually break the 8 for the NPP, not bringing in Mahama at all? I mean, let's look at Bawumia as a person for the NPP. Do you think he has what it takes to break the 8 for the NPP? Oh, he has what it takes. Yeah, he has what it takes. But I feel Ghana wants a change. So they would go for Mahama. But Bawumia has what it takes, because he was able to get more than 50% of the votes from the people here. All right. So your name again? I'm Trisha. Okay. So Trisha believes Bawumia has what it takes to actually break the 8 for the NPP. But the fact that Ghanaians won't change, she believes that it's not likely to actually make it for the NPP to break the 8. Let's see another person here. Give us your name and tell us what you make of this, whether Bawumia indeed has what it takes to break the 8.
My name is Mami Kunedu, and then my view on all this, I mean, after the election, Bawumia got 61 plus of the votes from his own people. And then in a team, if your people don't support you enough, the outside world do not support you too. I feel like he could have gotten more than 61% because it looks like part of the people in there are actually not for him. Because look at Mohammed's votes, 90 plus among his own people. And then Bawumia's votes is somehow average. That's what I would say. And then about what it takes, I don't think he has it. Because Bawumia is very popular among Ghanaians, both negatively and positively. But I think the negative aspect is more, it's greater. So if Dr. Alan had been present, I feel like he would have gotten more votes than that 68%, because where are the rest of the percentages going to? Like it's 100%, and then he got 61 point something. So where is the rest going?
But we've seen Kennedy also post some significant votes, so probably those votes went to Kennedy.
True, but I feel like if Dr. Alan had been running, Kennedy would not have gotten that particular vote he got, because I feel like Alan would have gotten more than Bawumia had. So it would have been left with a very small percentage to share between Dr. Bawumia and then Kennedy. Okay, that's my view.
So you don't think Bawumia has what it takes to break the 8 for the NPP?
Honestly, no, because looking at the reputation of the NPP for the last 8 years, they are in the deep. Like, Ghanaians are somehow mad at the NPP right now. So if they are looking for a flag bearer, they should look for someone with less fault, someone with less negativity, and Dr. Bawumia is just not that person right now. Okay. In my opinion, I feel like Dr. Bawumia is not that person for the NPP right now.
But you believe Alan could have been a better candidate?
Yes.
But he also served in this particular government.
He did, but then, as I said, it's an individual something. We are all in Ghana, but then even though we work grouply as a country, as a party, individual efforts also matter. I feel like Dr. Alan's individual effort didn't really bring more negativity, but looking at Dr. Bawumia and then Kennedy, there is too much negativity going around them, too many rumors, too many wrong moves like going around them. So with Dr. Bawumia representing the NPP for the next year's election, I don't feel good about it, but then that's just my view.
Look for it to what happens. Your name again?
Mame Kunedu.
Mame Kunedu believes that Bawumia does not have what it takes. So now we've seen the problem. What should be the way forward for Bawumia? What should be his preoccupation now in order to change the perception of Ghanaians who believe that he does not have what it takes to actually break the 8 for the NPP? And so I have with me, can you give us your name?
My name is Modassir Brahima.
Okay, so what do you think Bawumia should be doing now that a lot of Ghanaians are thinking he does not have what it takes to break the 8 for the NPP?
Right now, he should be thinking about convincing us to trust him, because Bawumia has so many credibility issues and so many trust issues, because he has made a lot of promises from 2008 up until 2012. Then to 2016, so many promises, unfulfilled promises. I mean, as a running mate, he went on to make promises as if he was going to be the president. And people, will hold you for your words. And over those years, he has made, pronouncements that, have come now to haunt him, because we've heard comments of him saying 8 years, NDC in government, that was in 2016. Yes, they've not been able to transform Ghana. The question Ghanaians will ask ourselves today is, the 8 years down the lane, NPP in government, have we been able to transform Ghana? I was at Accra Sports Stadium and I heard him say they are going to save Ghana. I don't know, he was speaking as if he was still in opposition. Save Ghana from who? Currently, you've delved into, digitalization all of a sudden. We knew it to be the economic risk kid. Today, what has happened to it? He has not spoken on e-levy. He has not spoken on, the road tolls issues. He has not spoken on the Momo, because he was on, conducted an interview to say that Momo...
So you expect him to, trumpet some of the achievements in those areas?
He's supposed to convince us why we should trust him, because he has said some things that have not materialized. He has said some things he was against, but have been implemented now. Because you are talking of Momo not to be taxed. Okay. You spoke about it. Now it has been implemented. You are not saying anything about it. E-levy, you are against it. Road tolls, he was one of the people who was advocating for road tolls. Now the road tolls has been abolished. We are not hearing from him. You should tell us. So he has a lot of work to do in convincing us to believe that, yes, we should take him for his words and that he will come to fulfill his promises.
So you do not think that the victory speech delivered by Dr. Bawumia was convincing enough to floating voters, so maybe they will now go and vote for him come 2024?
I mean, the only convincing message in that victory speech was that everything is possible in life. We can make it. But aside that, I don't see any other thing that's convincing in the speech, because you have been a running mate, you have been a vice president, you have, had your turn, and this is what we get from you. What should we take you? He comes to say that he has his own vision. Why didn't you support your president with your vision to let the country, move on, so that we'll praise you for all the effort? But today, price hikes, inflation, and you're not even speaking on the tangible issues that have happened, the things you were against. So it leaves much of doubt. Trust issues, we have personal.
So do you think the NPP has made a wrong decision or wrong choice, which you're actually going to hunt them going into the 2024 election based on what you're saying?
So, as for it being a wrong choice, yes, I think so, because they want to prove a point. But you see, it is politics. You are to capture power. So whatever it takes for you to capture power, you have to do it. And you don't bring the same faces we have seen before. The same people have, led us into this, hardship currently that we are experiencing. At least we expected a new face. But, well, he's the best candidate among all the other candidates that they were bringing on board, except for the fact that Alan Chamante broke away. He would have been maybe a major contender and maybe a possible candidate for him. But for Bawumia's candidature, he was, trumpeting the good of the good policies of NPP. So you can see that people will go in for him because he are coming to use the vehicle of the NPP. And that's what brought Kennedy at pawn down. Because you cannot say that you want to use the vehicle of NPP. Then you are condemning them. Okay. You come and say the party are this, but you see,
so that did not work for Kennedy because of his criticism of the party and all that.
Exactly. Because you are doing anti-party, you are going against the party. The vehicle you want to use, you are rather destroying it. Okay. So how do we sell the message? And Bawumia is the best candidate in the sense that for them, because but not for the nation. Okay. Yes, he can represent the party, maybe also come and strive, but not for the 2024.
So you do not think that Bawumia will be able to pull a surprise in 2024 election at all? He cannot break the 8 for, the NPP?
Not at all. Okay. He's just coming to, maybe the northern sector gets some vote, but right now the stakes high. Unless something maybe untoward happen, maybe they work hard to reduce the hardship, then maybe we can have a consideration. But for
is that a feeling across this campus? You live here, you school here, and tell us how students are really taking this winning by Dr. Bawumia.
No, the issue is that we feel everything in our pocket as students as well. We know what our parents are going through. We know what they go through day and night to get us our daily bread, accommodation, and all that. So that translates into us. We know, we feel it as well. So once someone who is a vice president who has come and we've not seen a major transformation as promised, definitely the mood on campus is not good because if you go out there and go and play NPP song, you may be lynched because
here on the University of Ghana campus.
I'm serious about it because people are not happy about what's going on in the country. People are not happy about governance. Even here, accommodation, no one is working for us, no one is speaking for us. Government is doing as if they are not seeing to it, and every year there's price accommodation, there's increase in accommodation.
Thank you. Your name again?
My name is Mudassir Brahima.
Okay, so that is his opinion. He believes that Bawumia has a terrible record, and then he does not believe that he can really break the 8. Let's speak more to some other people. Okay, let me speak to you first, and then I'll come to you. Now, Bawumia appears to have a major task, based on what we've heard so far. From where you sit, briefly, what should he be doing now so maybe he can win Ghanaians back so that he'll be able to break the 8 for the NPP?
All right, so I think Bawumia should right now focus on, doing something to change the economy rather than focusing on coming into power, because I think automatically if he focuses on doing something to change the economy, he's going to, win people's hearts, in the 2024 election. Bawumia is the best person they can present, NPP can present. So I think right now the party should really focus, and the current president, Adodi, he should help Bawumia.
Can he do that in the few, just some months to the election?
Well, you never know. Last days are always dangerous. They should do something because Bawumia has been somebody, in you ask everybody, majority of Ghanaians, you ask them, who is Bawumia, then they're like, this liar, So they've painted some kind of pictures in our head that who Bawumia is, because we've been seeing him saying a lot of things, but then you check out those things and then they're not happening. So of course he's a liar. But
no, so that's your opinion, actually. Okay, so we cannot say he's a liar. I mean, yes, perception out there.
Opinion, yeah.
But he has also said things that have happened. I mean, if you talk about the free SHS, for instance, he said it and the free SHS is on. So we cannot base on one failure or one challenge and say that he's a liar. Don't you think?
There's been other things, confusions with the media. Bawumia's whole face was like.
So you think
he destroyed his face? Somebody who was going to run for president, they knew was going to run for president. They should have protected him instead of allowing him to make some public statements and things where people will come back and say that he didn't do this, he didn't do that, and all of that. No, they should have just kept him somewhere and then allowed him to work.
Okay.
So right now, Adodi should focus. It's level. I know. Elections are almost close, but then they should do something because they can't just sit and expect Ghanaians to vote for them.
Right.
I won't vote for them if they don't do anything. So they should do something about it.
Thank you. Your name again?
Moses.
Okay, that's Moses. So let me come to you. Your name?
My name is Gideon.
Okay, Gideon. I have Gideon here, and so let's look at what the others have been saying. The fact that they believe Bawumia has really not managed the economy well. And so if nothing changes drastically, it means that he might not be able to break the 8 for the NPP. Is this an opinion you share?
Well, before I come back to that, I have something to say. And that's, I think what the country needs to do is we should start thinking about 4 to 5 years to 10 years in advanced planning, so that some of these things will not come to us as a shock. You understand? As to what happens in the individual party groups, I would say yes. And we all witnessed what happened on Saturday when the weight that His Excellency Bawumia pulled. It wasn't anything which is quite shaky. You understand? I mean, that can cut people's hearts. So what I say is there's a lot of work that needs to be done if they really need to, break the 8. So far as looking at the fashionism that exists within the party, that's what I can say for now.
Does Bawumia has what it takes to bring that factionism? I mean, the cracks in the party, to mend those cracks.
Well, basically, I mean, this is an adult issue. So basically, I think the stakeholders involved need to sit down to crack their heads, and I mean, knowing what they want, then they can think about it. I hope you understand.
Okay. So some of your colleagues are also raising concern of the vote buying, alleged vote buying that went on, and they believe that money played a pivotal role in this particular election, which could have maybe swayed the vote or the winning candidate to a certain part. Is it something you think is a concern as a young democracy in Ghana, that we are seeing these pictures where delegates are confirming receiving money from aspirants and all that?
Well, I think it's becoming a growing trend, and over the years, we've seen this behavior being surfaced. And I think it's about time we try to do away with this monocracy thing, so that they will take our democracy very, very seriously. Because I mean, it will give room for other people. I mean, to vote purely on their conscience, but not as being bought. They will not have this perception that I'm being bought to vote. You understand? In order to protect our young democracies, that's what I think we have to. So we have to invest more in the people and have good governance. You understand? Because that's the way forward. Money issue. We can even pour the whole money dollar into this country. So since we don't have proper use for, where it's going and other things, I think we may not. It will not yield the result
towards Ghanaians.
Towards Ghanaians. So we should endeavor to strive to grow our young democracy. You understand? In whatever way, shape, or form it will take. Rome was not built in a day. Sometimes you could see some people taking hard blocks and other things just to build the architecture or the fiber of the country. So I think we know times are hard, but yes, it's only when we believe in nationalism. Okay. You understand? So the way forward is nationalism, whereby we can bring everybody on board. Give them the leeway.
All right.
Whatever they have, so that they can give to the nation. You understand?
Okay.
So, two contrasting, very different schools of thought. We went to the Ashanti region, and it was more of, Dr. Bawumia is the next president and all of that. Then we came to Accra, and of course, no candidate without winning the Greater Accra region has won an election, the presidential election. We come to Accra to the font of knowledge, tertiary education, the University of Ghana. And that is what some students are saying. In fact, Mami Kunedu, one of those who spoke, interestingly, had some attention diverted to her on our social media page because a lot of people were saluting her, saying her submissions are brilliant and that she summarized the entire state of the nation. Then there was that gentleman that followed. So some comments that came in, I'll just take a look at some of them before I wrap the conversation with Dr. Ayamga. Mabia Damba says, as a northerner, I will vote based on competence, not because I am a Muslim or a northerner. This one says, okay, so Simon Birch Kaja says, it's funny listening to our brothers in Kumasi. Well, that's their point of view, not the real fact or analysis. Well, everyone is entitled to their point of view. What you think is not necessarily what others will think. Then there's this one that says, Ken Bawumia Allen, they are the same. None of them can be president for Ghana. They have failed us for years. More people saluting Mame Kunedu. And this one says, you people, that is the students, are failing to tell the students that Mahama went unopposed. So he didn't go unopposed, by the way. Kojo Bonsu contested him. So definitely he has no one to compete with. His vote was more than 60%. Ken contested Bawumia. That's the point you make. And Florence Zineo says, how is Nanado going to help Bawumia when he couldn't help himself? Okay, so those are some of the comments that have come through. Dr. Ayamga, you've listened, I believe, those from the Ashanti region and those from the University of Ghana campus. I think the conversation at the University of Ghana campus was in-depth because issues came up. But what do you make of all of this, and what does it mean going forward for the NPP?
Yeah, it's just as I expected. We still think that the Ashanti region will remain a stronghold of the NPP. People on the street will still feel they have a certain obligation to protect the ideals of the NPP. That doesn't mean they are going to vote for the NPP. All we are saying is that by the time elections are done, campaigning is done, and they pick Bawumia to his performance, there's going to be a significantly higher number of people who will drift towards number one, Mahama. Number two, there will be a significantly higher number of people who won't go to vote. And that is the problem in the Ashanti region. There's going to be issues of apathy and discontent with the status quo, especially given that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been driven in the establishment express, the incumbency express to the flag bearership. That is going to deflate people. If you look at what is happening in Accra and particularly in the University of Ghana, it boils down to unemployment. And as I said here, the youth are disenchanted because they virtually have nothing to do. They have education, they get degrees, they have the zeal to start businesses. Today, you cannot start a business in Ghana. We are talking about, as I said, you took unemployment around 5.1%. Today, we are talking about 13.3%. That is about 273% or so. Worsening of employment. You worsen employment by 270%. That number. About 1.7 million young people don't have jobs, and this number is increasing. You don't expect them to be singing Hallelujah, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So those two contrasting issues we see there is an issue of a stronghold, loyalty to a party and a political system versus reality in the economy. And if you not only Accra, if you take other places into consideration where they are not connected to the party via any other system, but by just how they perform, you realize that nobody wants to see Bawumia again. And they already faced the daunting task. They have made that task even harder by the selection of Mahmoud Bawumia. And secondly, by the manner in which he was elected. That is the problem they are confronting, and that is what is going to be their undoing. I don't see anything happening between now and elections, because definitely we are at the IMF, so the justification to use the IMF proceeds and other things, except maybe that money has been stashed under people's beds. That monocracy cannot be spread across the nation. We saw it in Asin North. It was a testament to the fact that people can only be influenced monetarily to a certain level. When it comes to their livelihood and their life and death issue, they'll make the right choices. And I don't think that the NPP has the resources to do what they did in Asinop across the whole nation, let alone win back areas that they have lost. So it is going to be a very, very difficult task to them. They needed a candidate that would bring back energy, that will bring back joy, that would harness nostalgia and go on. The candidate we have now is flat. The victory is still, and people are actually not feeling like, okay, there's hope in the horizon. But Bawumia doesn't project hope. He projects hopelessness and despair based on his record. And yes, he's trying to run away from the economy to digitization. And that is like failing the prerequisite of a program and wanting to get a degree in it. When you digitize something, it makes it easier. If you digitize, let's say, a presentation, it means you can stay in the house and still anchor this program. If you digitize failure, it's going to magnify failure. So what is the president going to digitize? The framework, the input, the data he's going to input in his digitization framework is massive failure across all sectors of the economy. Let me say it without any equivocation, that there is no data, economic data, in 2016 that was not better than 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. You can check it. So the 2016 that we ran out for is something we are yearning to have back. People would rather be in 2016 than this 2023. And that is the record of Dr. Bawumia. There is no mincing words. That is the task he has to confront. He has his work cut out for him. And I don't think it's a possible task.
I'll have to thank you, Dr. Ayamga, though my last ruminations on this, I've just been taking a look. I find it curious. Looking at, of course, the strongholds of the MPP, Ashanti and Eastern, you would realize that Kennedy Ejapong, from the votes cast, secured over 30% of the votes. So it's like 1:2, thereabouts, the ratio. And then, interestingly, in the Greater Accra region, the difference was less than 2,000, 17,282 versus 19,002. And then on that basis, you look at the popularity of the candidate that the MPP has fielded. But only time will tell. Come next year, we'll see when the NDC and the MPP lock horns on the issues. That's what we're looking for. Like at the University of Ghana, it's the issues, the crucial issues, and performance. What have you done vis-a-vis what you said? I think that is where the real cookie will crumble. But Dr. Ayamga, we're grateful for your time this morning, and we wish you the very best.
Thank you for having me.
Dr. Michael Ayamga is a development economist and senior lecturer at the University for Development Studies in Tamale. We also had joining the conversation Professor Kobi Mensah of the University of Ghana Business School. That is the first leg of our conversation. Well, coming up next, after the break, we're going to bring you updates on the flooding in communities along the Volta River. We know of what has happened, but what is the latest situation there? We'll be bringing you the scoop after the break.